I oftentimes see in myself that I become a product of what other people want me to be. I'm sitting here right now and I was just thinking about this before recording this. Then when I looked at my recording schedule for which video I was about to record, I just remember that you've probably forgot who you are sometimes because you let other people's influence just get to you too deeply. I'm having a sip of a coffee and I'm a little bit like tired. I'm having a little bit of like that brain fog or whatever because of school had just ended. And I was just thinking about this, that in general, people celebrate being different and all of that, but if you don't really fit in and do some of the things, like, for example, you don't eat a certain way that people describe or whatever, it's very easy to get picked on, or if you don't really, like, regulate yourself to the small, like, local area, it's not very accepted. And I just thought to myself that it's okay to be a little bit different. It's okay to not be like everybody else. Just imagine yourself, like, I'm 15, I'm turning 16 in like 20 days or whatever. And how many people do you know who's like 16 years old who's sitting in front of a camera and speaking about these things? And what I've realized about all of this, like being yourself type of thing, the most important thing that I've realized is that the biggest constraint on our mental health can be that we can't really feel that, like, we can't be authentic to ourselves. We can't really feel who we truly are. The more I try and do this, the more I try to just like express who I am naturally. Sometimes I get a little bit uncomfortable because I think maybe people will judge me. But overall, when I look at my life, I see that it drastically improves every single time that I just trust in my own like gut intuition to actually go out and be myself, or whatever you want to call it. Who you are is heavily dictated by your environment. And so I would say position yourself with people who can complement your likes weaknesses, who can point out your strengths in a constructive way. The more we can do this, the better we can leverage this ability to improve our mindset, our mental health, our just in general with the things that we want to do with our lives, because sometimes it cannot be like deemed as very normal to not eat unhealthy foods. It can be deemed as not very normal to like sit down and do all of this, and this is really common, I think, for teenagers. When you get older, people don't really care as much, I think. But this is the thing: start on a micro level, just doing something. For example, I'm sitting here having a sip of a coffee once I'm recording this because I wanted to have that energy. And like, imagine it's not super common that like a 15-year-old drinks coffee, and I actually enjoy it, but this is just a random thing that on a micro level, start expressing who you are. It's completely fine. It's fine to actually do that. So this is just a short reminder for anybody who feels like, okay, I feel a little bit lost in who I am or whatever, but it's completely fine. You don't really have to pretend to be anybody else. Of course, don't act disrespectful or anything, but whenever somebody says like you're weird for not doing that, for example, a girl in my class just mentioned this today actually, because we got this like candy cookie whatever like from our teacher, and I said I didn't really want it because I didn't want it. That's the thing. I said no thank you to that teacher's like treat or whatever you want to call it, and she just pointed out, you're weird for not taking that. And I was just like, yes, I am. Let me be weird like that. And then I was just telling her that I was joking and all of that. But it is really funny. Like, just own it. It's completely fine, because the more you can do that, the more you can be secure in who you are. Not really like, oh, I'm not weird. It's actually because of this. It's because of these things. You don't have to explain yourself. Just take a deep breath and spend some time in the present moment. That's what you can do. By the way, I have a free community link in the description for anybody who want to join, improve their mental health, strengthen their mindset, and actually find a new mission for where they want to go with their lives. But this is really all I have to say for today. A quick reminder, and I hope that you got some value, and I'll see you in the next one.